The Sunshine State rivalry has been anything but bright for the club residing in South Florida, and tonight they're looking to get themselves on the board. USL Championship action presented by Doral Kia pits Miami FC against Tampa Bay Rowdies. Good evening to all with Ricky Lopez-Espin. I'm David Gascon. Thanks for joining us this evening. Ricky, it's week 3 of USL Championship, and we have a pair of clubs looking for their first victory of the season.
Just hasn't been good enough for Miami FC, and it starts on the defensive side of the ball. Really silly mistakes that they've been making, not getting goal side of their individual marker, losing their individual duels. But one thing that you can take positive from last time out, they found their first goal of 2025, and it was Kevin Hoyos. He made an impact. So how do you build on that confidence here tonight for Miami FC?
Well, Hoyos scored the first goal this season for Miami, but he came off the sidelines. Miami's regular starters need to get themselves in gear too.
Sebastian Blanco can be the best player in all of USL Championship if he wants to be. That is the type of quality that he has, the ability to beat you 1v1 or through combination play. One thing that stays for certain, if you find Sebastian Blanco in that number 10 role, you'll find success.
Well, conversely for Tampa Bay, they've done two things to start this season that they've never done in franchise history. That start off the year 0-2, and they fail to score goals in each of those contests.
This Tampa Bay Rowdy side is a bit inconsistent, and they're still trying to figure out who they want to be on and off the ball. Yes, the results haven't been there, but the performances have shown a little bit more of promise. And one thing that is also for sure, David, is that this Tampa Bay Rowdy side has talent on this roster.
Well, speaking of talent, they lost Cal Jennings. That's the bad news. The good news, Manuel Arteaga's still here.
Manuel Arteaga, he's a complete number 9, and it all comes down to his timing and his willingness to want to get on the end of things. He is a fox in the box when the ball's out wide. Watch his movement, and he's a ruthless finisher. The ability to just glance it off of his head. He's going to be the one spearheading the attack for Tampa Bay Rowdies. What does his service look like into him? Because he's a star in this league.
Tampa Bay has won 6 straight, dating all the way back to 2022. We'll see if that trend continues here tonight. Coming up on their side, we'll get you the starting 11 and first touch. It's Miami FC, Tampa Bay Rowdies coming up next.
Some people think Miami is just flamingos and palm trees.
And hell yes, we have badass sunsets.
But Miami's Little Havana,
Doral,
Little Haiti,
Hialeah,
Wynwood, Coconut Grove,
Kendall,
Calle Ocho,
Sweetwater,
Homestead,
cortaditos y coladas
empanadas y croquetas.
is so much more. This is the 305.
This is who we really are. This is what we are all about.
I am Latino.
I'm a disruptor.
I am LGBTQ.
I am a villain.
I am a mother.
I am Haitian.
I am an actor.
I am an activist.
I am a king.
I am American Dream.
I am the future.
I am
Miami FC.
No one was born a hero. It's an everyday journey. There are no shortcuts, no days off, no perfect scenarios. Things won't always go the way you expect. But overcoming challenges is part of the game too. Your time is now. When passion runs through you, become your own hero.
This portion of the broadcast is brought to you by Doral Kia. Drive for less, drive Doral. Bon Bon Boom. Macron, become your own hero, and Baptist Health. And And we're back here live at Pitbull Stadium with Ricky Lopez-Espin. I'm David Gascon. Ricky, first off, the starters for the home side.
4-2-3-1 formation for Gaston Madoni, but my eyes go to that front three. Bonfilio, he comes in. You want him to stay as high as he possibly can, because if he does that, he occupies the center backs. So that allows Valquez, Blanco, and Milano to get on the ball early and often, and those front three, they need to be influential and they need to be up for it.
Yeah, Bonfilio did not play last week against Indy 11 because of a red card he picked up in week number 1. Flip side of things for Tampa Bay, looking to get their first win of the season.
Fluidity is what Robbie Nielsen wants from the Tampa Bay Rowdies, and it starts with that back three. They need to be compact and they need to be in unison. You need to step, you need to drop together, and how tight can you have those lines, because Miami FC wants to play in between you, so defensive shape is going to be key for Robbie Nielsen.
Yeah, Nicholas Campisi in net here tonight for Tampa Bay. He's got some big shoes to fill, replacing Jordan Farr, who moved himself up to DC United.
So you test him, right? You test him early. If you are Miami FC, you see how the new goalkeeper is going to be. You try to test his decision-making, his ball-saving abilities. I think the first 10 to 15 minutes going to be really important for Miami FC, because they need to get in a rhythm and they need to get some confidence within the side.
Bill Hamid on the other side of things. He played his first USL Championship match with Miami a couple weeks ago against Indy 11. Suffered a defeat, but what did you like about his game, even that loss?
He was a true leader. He was holding his center backs accountable. The communication was something that was lacking for Miami FC, and that's exactly why you bring in a player like Bill Hamid with his winning pedigree.
Alex Billleader, lead official tonight. Temperatures right now a pretty comfortable 73 degrees. Scattered clouds, no thoughts of rain. Humidity right around 58%. Wind blowing out to the east at 7 miles per hour. All in all, Ricky, it's a great night for ball. And for Miami, they're hoping this night will end with a 3-point victory, get themselves in the win column for the first time this season, and also snap a big drought. They've lost the last 6 matches against Tampa Bay, dating all the way back to April 9th of 2022 as this contest is underway. Miami moving from right to left on your screen. Tampa Bay, the visitors, will be moving from left to right on the attack. A lot of things that Robbie Nielsen mentioned to us a few days ago on the call. One of them was that he felt like his team deserved a better fate over the course of their first 2 matches. Just had those small lapses that burned them ultimately. Take a look at tonight's keys to the contest. Ricky, what do we have?
For Miami FC, you have to play in central locations because you have a numerical advantage. So that's where you want a lot of your players to be operating. And for Tampa Bay Rowdies, 2 games, you conceded 2 goals. So you need to be compact in your defensive structure.
And the way that things opened up last week against Indy 11 was not admirable. An infraction said the 18. Penalty was awarded. Bill Hamid had no chance on it. It's a tough luck loser last week against Indy 11, a 3-1 defeat. But the club themselves got off to a pretty good start on Tuesday. U.S. Open Cup action. They defeated Naples United FC 4-1. Francisco Bonfilio with the brace in that contest. Speaking of goals, and that one could have the first one of the night, and we do! Campisi came out to cheat, and he was badly burned. Miami in the 2nd minute leads 1-0.
Just the start Miami FC was hoping for. Really good recognition from Bonfilio. Where's the space that there is a high line from Tampa Bay Rowdies is you have to be opportunistic, you have to be adventurous, and a bit of skill as well. Campisi gets caught off of his line, so it's just instinctual. Notice with the outside of his right boot up and over, and Miami FC have a dream start here at home.
Well, the killer part for Bonfilio in week 1 against Detroit was he had a little bit of a temper, and because of that, he picked up 2 yellow cards, eventually obviously the red, in the first half. Was not able to play last week against Indy 11, played on Tuesday against Naples United FC, recorded the brace, and his hot foot continues here tonight. His goal gives Miami the first advantage they have had all season long, and it's 1-0 quickly out of the gates.
What does the reaction look like now for Tampa Bay Rowdies? Not what you want 3 minutes in on the road, down 1-0 yet again. You need to get your players central on the ball to be a little bit more impactful here, to get some confidence with your side.
Well, back with Campisi coming out to challenge. It's a do-or-die situation for any gatekeeper. And in that situation, Campisi got to know where you're at on the pitch. He was way too late to that ball. And a quick flick with the right boot from Bonfiglio pockets his first goal of USL Championship, and the home side's on the board in the 2nd minute. Miami last year was swept by Tampa Bay. They were outscored in those 2 contests 7-2.
Doral Kia is loaded with over 500 new Kia models in stock now. Test drive a new 25 Kia Sportage today. Doral Kia. Drive for less. Drive Doral.
Bonfiglio, his first of the regular season. Completely different script from last week where they got down early in the 3rd minute. Alejandro Matrano will pick up the assist, his first point of the year. Tampa Bay back to the same old song and dance like last week. Down 1-0, and Miami looking for a lot more. Vasquez with a quick tap. Confidence is a slippery slope, Ricky. When you don't have it, you're searching for it, but when you have it, you're king of the world. And got to imagine for Miami picking up that 4-1 victory on Tuesday probably did a lot for their psyche.
You also see it within their effort as well, pressing a little bit higher, trying to force turnovers higher up the field. So if you are the Tampa Bay Rowdies, you need to be really clean at relieving some of this pressure.
Yeah, being clean is one thing, but now having to play on the front foot, where Miami has not been accustomed to this over the first couple weeks of the regular season. Moon here. Tampa Bay last year got off to a completely different start than they did this year. They were unbeaten in their first 7. That included a thorough thumping of Miami FC. This one on goal, Hamid, a good stop and fine recovery there. Redirected his way. It's the first threatening attempt by Tampa.
Just talked about the movement of Manuel Arteaga. Right side of your screen at the last second, just slashes across of Ricketts. That's the type of striker that he is. You always have to be touch tight because he can make you pay in a half of a yard.
Arteaga last season, 18 goals to lead Tampa Bay. Cal Jennings was right behind him with 16. Great pressure by Vasquez, but it goes back to Tampa. And Ricky, we look at Gaston Madani. It was tough for the first couple weeks for him, but he's still finding his club right now. We saw a good spark from Kevin Hoyos last week off the sideline. But I got to imagine the reserves that had the instant impact, that probably hit home for a lot of the starters too.
100%. Right now you have a little bit of competition, so you cannot take your place in this lineup for granted. It's a result-driven business. If you're not getting results, then your job is up for grabs.
Ollie Bassett amongst the starters here tonight. Came from the Canadian Premier League. Was the league's player of the year. Grabbed those honors. Now trying to bring his talents to USL Championship. Robbie Nielsen in his 2nd season with Tampa Bay. Last year did not end the kind of way that he wanted it to. It was a 2-1 defeat to Charleston in the postseason. It wasn't a bad year for his club, but I know he expected a lot more. Finished 6th in the Eastern Conference a year ago with 50 points. But keep in mind, Ricky, that all that happened, and we had hurricanes going on in Florida. Moon here with the delivery on target. Good stop by Hamid.
One thing we've come to expect in USL Championship with Tampa Bay Rowdies is you always expect them to be at the top of the Eastern Conference. With the quality and the history of this club, it should always be challenging for trophies and playing deep into the postseason.
Oddly enough, we had 2 clubs last year that were playing, for all intents and purposes, without a house. Oakland was one of them in the Western Conference, and of course Tampa Bay. Challenges with Mother Nature. The team in the thick of it last year. They had 2 goal scorers last year, Arteaga and Jennings, that scored 18 and 16 respectively, but didn't have a third in double digits. In fact, nobody for Tampa Bay scored more than 6 goals in 2024. As of right now, they'll just take 1. USL Championship, it's on CBS. It kicks off April 6th with 2 former USL Championship title winners battling it out. Join us Sunday, April 6th. It's undefeated San Antonio FC takes on Western Conference rival Phoenix Rising FC at 4 p.m. Eastern on CBS. Francisco Bonfilio in the 2nd minute, scoring the only goal so far. Alejandro Metrano with the assist. 1-0 Miami over Tampa Bay.
Looks like Sebastian Blanco is struggling. Top side of your screen, he's gone down. Not what you want if you are Gaston Madoni. Already missed about 2 games due to injury. Where that quality, bad signs for Miami FC.
Grabbing the top of his foot, too. Took off his cleat quickly. Now the bottom of it. Take a peek at this again, Rick, and see if there's anything that you were able to grab.
He's a player that's dealt with some injury history. Whether it was his time in Argentina, in Portland and MLS as well. Hopefully he's okay to continue on. Does seem like he put his boot back on, so he's going to give it a go. But he's a player that Miami FC signed in the offseason, had a lot of high hopes for with his quality. Good to see him back and walking on his own power.
A lot of miles on those legs. 36 years of age from Buenos Aires, Argentina. 7 seasons in MLS with Portland. Over 200 caps. Scored 51 goals and had 46 helpers during his time. 3rd all-time in goals with Portland as well. Quite a resume. Now you know Gaston Madoni is trying to bring that level of skill and accomplishment to Miami and have it spread like wildfire. Miami had problems offensively and defensively last year. Had 3 victories all of 2024. They were outscored by 63. Mentioned the absence of Tulu last week. Prediction is he'll be done for the year with a lower body injury. Castellanos into the attacking third. This one lifted up. Pretty decent contact. Ricketts went down. Tampa Bay trying to hold possession here, and they do. Pasius dropped it back. Pasius, ripe old age of 23. He also comes from the Canadian Premier League. Tampa Bay opening the season up not only winless, they have not scored a goal so far this year, and they also continue to play on the road. This is their third road contest of 4 to open up 2025. They've had quite an interesting offseason. They lost Cal Jennings. Jordan Farr goes to DC United. They bring in Ollie Bassett from the Canadian Premier League. Expect some things from Nate Worth, who's just 18 years of age. But they have some things to figure out. It's not cut and dry.
Good opportunity here for the Rowdies. McPherson, desired location is right between that 6-yard box and penalty mark to test that man, Bill Hamid. Last time out, Miami FC had a really difficult time dealing with set pieces.
McPherson into the middle of the pitch, much better on this occasion. And when defending in those set piece situations, Ricky, are you more inclined to pack the middle of the pitch?
Yeah, I think you have to, right? You want to be as compact and as tight as you possibly can, and if a ball is in your area, you have to go and attack it. Really well done there from Lucas Milano.
See what McPherson delivers up here. And from Glasgow, Scotland. With the 6 played away. And Tampa Bay will have to play through the back. Campisi gambled a little bit. Bonfilio made him pay. His first goal during the regular season in the 2nd minute. 1-0 Miami FC. Vasquez. All the way around the pitch. Mercado. See if Blanco's okay. Vasquez trying to get to that ball. Can't. Not enough lift on it. 16th minute. Akinyoti. Blanco here. Blanco to the back post. Pretty good delivery. A little bit too long on it. Milano.
Just see what the confidence does at that early goal for Miami FC. A lot more comfortable on the ball. Their spacing is better. Just a different type of feel.
Toronto on the crossing attempt, top of the box. Some decent contact. The fellas play on. I don't want to say they're loose, but do you feel like this is probably the most comfortable Miami's been so far this year?
100%. Just have a little bit more pressure on them because now they have the lead. And they know that the Tampa Bay Rowdies are going to have to go out and chase the game a little bit and approach it. If they start to open up, that's when a player like Sebastian Blanco can be key, because that's exactly where he likes to operate, in between lines, underneath Bonfilio.
All the way back. Campisi this time gets to it.
But this back line for Tampa Bay Rowdies just not convincing enough. They get beat far too easily on initial ball over the top that Bonfilio finds the back of the net, and this one not dealt with straightforward from Lawrence White.
Football fans, welcome to the 2025 USL Kickoff presented by Terminix. Throughout the month of March, the USL will be kicking off across the country. Join us for all the action on ESPN and CBS Sports platforms. Petrano, Vasquez, Akinyoti. Tampa Bay's had a couple of shots so far at Bill Hamid, both on target that he has stopped. Miami, the one threatening moment They're able to put it in the back of the net. These are two sides that have had a lot of rearranging of the furniture on their rosters. The question is, how would all play out at the end of the year? Long way to go. And that includes to get to full time here this evening. Miami was shut out at home in the season opener against Detroit. They were down 1-0 when they lost Bonfiglio in the opening half, and then conceded a second goal late. Campisi out again. Campisi making his way from Argentina. Spent the majority of his professional career in Paraguay. But now, like, it feels like the majority of the guys with Miami FC, almost an own goal here. Heads up play by Bill Hamid. We've seen that before. This is remnants of 2024, Ricky.
Really uncomfortable for Bolaños to deal with it. He's trying to just head it over the end line. Almost gets it wrong. Give credit to Bill Hamid. Just no real flow throughout this match for the first 20 minutes. It seems like both teams are still trying to find their footing. Yet Miami FC has seemed the more comfortable of the two. But how many long balls have we seen? Just hopeful 50-50 duels.
Questionable challenge there. Ricketts on the infraction. It was a big pickup from Sacramento. Handful of guys that have made their way to Miami from other USL Championship squads. 21st minute. Moon wanted to get it back. Pacius on the retreat. White. His second season with Tampa Bay. Pacius looking for some real estate. Moon trying to get it to him. Almost squeezed that around Akinyoti, and now a turnover.
A bad giveaway here from Miami.
Arteaga is lurking inside the 18. And for now, Miami breathes a sigh of relief. Bodily quickly back at it. And here's Lewis Hilton. 10th season in USL Championship for Hilton. Match has a different look for it now with Miami up 1-0.
Just too predictable for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Not enough movement in behind. Pacius really quiet, only 8 touches through the first 22 minutes. Not good enough for an attacking player. Need to get him a little bit more influential and more impactful. Him and Manuel Arteaga a bit disconnected within their spacing. You talk about movement or lack thereof for Tampa, everything for Bolo Akinyoti and Jonathan Ricketts have been in front of them. So it's really comfortable. Moments like this is when they make them uncomfortable.
McPherson on the doorstep, and he shanked that one. Golden opportunity for Tampa Bay. McPherson would love to have that one back.
The first time that we've seen Miami FC get turned around and facing their own goal. Love this pick out for Bassett. The whole back line for Miami FC is retreating, so where's the space? It's on the cutback. McPherson arriving late, but as he approaches this ball, he's leaning back, and you can see the frustration.
Similar to the outcomes of week 1 and 2 for Tampa Bay, they've had opportunities against the opposition. squandered one against Las Vegas, and Campisi gave up a goal similar to the one he conceded here tonight to Bonfilio. And against FC Tulsa, they outshot and outpossessed the opposition, and they had no reward at the end of the day. Bassett into the box, looking for Arteaga. He's just not tall enough there.
You start to see the Rowdies starting to get in a little bit of a rhythm. And it all comes because they're a little bit more connected. McPherson's playing a lot higher underneath Manuel Arteaga. And as this play rotates over, you have more numbers. Arteaga, Pacias, secure goalkeeping from Bill Hamid in the end.
Nice chip to Moon. Moon, a fine job settling it. Crossing it, Bolu got in front of it though. Tampa Bay clearly growing into this game, Ricky. Big question is, how can Miami now turn this around?
I think you need to take the game away from Tampa, right? You want them to get on the ball a little bit more, because if you're on the ball, now Tampa is obviously defending. Moments like this, yet again, defending set pieces are something that Gaston Modoni and Miami FC have worked extremely hard with in their week of training.
McPherson here in the corner. Second one of the night from McPherson. Arteaga, a threatening spot. Bolu, fine job marking him there. 18 goals last year for Tampa Bay, so you know a guy like that doesn't need a lot of space. Arteaga made a name for himself, winning a title with Phoenix Rising a couple years ago in 2023. McPherson towards the back post. A lot more traffic inside the box than Bill Hamid experienced in the first 10 to 15 minutes. End of this first half, Ricky and myself will have highlights. We'll have some stats. We'll have some news and notes, and we'll also take a peek at the Odd-Town scoreboard. Plenty of action going on right now, and also later tonight on the West Coast. But Miami's the place to be right now, Ricky. Perfect weather.
Spring break.
Spring break, of course. Quality time of the year. Pretty decent ball played through, but unfortunate for Blanco and company. Could not be the recipient. Vasquez couldn't jump on it. Tampa Bay trying to push on a counter. Arteaga, Pacias here, no numbers though. Hilton switching the pitch. Just a little disconnection there.
But it starts with this ball from Manuel Arteaga. It needs to be played in front of Pacias. Because if he is running downhill, now you have the ability to have a second action if you're Manuel. You send them too wide. Miami FC gets into their defensive structure, and that attacking transitional moments goes to waste.
Tampa Bay Rowdies in a goal-scoring drought. 2+ matches for a club last year that was unbeaten their first 7. A shutout win against New Mexico. They took apart Miami FC. And so far this year, they're stuck in park. Oh, a little bit too much run on it there for Varane.
Just a wrong foot here from Varane. It sets up nicely just to step through it with your left foot.
Romero on the dead sprint, couldn't flag it down. Tampa Bay having a slight advantage right now in terms of possession. Pacius asking for it. He was quickly double teamed. McPherson head up all the way. Good job from Matrano to nullify that attempt.
He's been bright, McPherson, for the Rowdies, playing at that number 10 role underneath Arteaga. He has the freedom just to go out and search the game. Seems to be a nice little addition to the Rowdies lineup. Him and Bassett, very similar in the way that they operate. Ball-playing center midfielders that like to pull the strings and find final actions.
Bill Hamid vocalizing what he wants his defense to do. Onto the back post, sprinkled on, easily gobbled up. Castellanos plays on the back line. He's from Southern California, Palmdale to be exact. Second year with Tampa Bay. Joined Tampa while being on loan from Nashville SC.
Bit of a different look here for Miami FC as they're building out. Notice how Mercado drops deep. Both center backs split, and that allows Ricketts and Matrano to be a little bit more aggressive. Nice tactical wrinkle from Gaston Modoni.
Something like that, more of a feel for him to make that kind of a change?
I'd have to think so. Obviously, as the season progresses, they're getting more comfortable with what USL is all about. He's getting more comfortable with his roster and players that he trusts, players that he likes in certain parts of the field, but also the opposition, right? How can you pull out the Tampa Bay Rowdies, who through the first two games have seen a little bit susceptible within their defensive lines, right? So if you can pull out Arteaga, Lewis Hilton, that's when you can get Sebastian Blanco. And you have to think that a lot of the game plan for Miami FC revolves around the number 10.
Chrysostomo to White. Moon here. Pacius and Arteaga near the top of the box. A sliver through from Pacius. Oh, with the right foot. That is a splendid goal. Fighting off a defender, tucking it into left post. We are level in the 31st minute, 1-up.
As their number 9, your movement, your strength, and the ability to find the back of the net is everything. Notice how he lets the play develop because he knows where he wants this ball. He puts his body between him, Bolu Akinyoti, and then this is just pure skill to get it across his body. Thumps it by Bill Hamid. No chance for the goalkeeper. And Tampa Bay draw this thing even.
That is all leverage from Pacius with the left arm holding off Bolu and then leaning into that right-footed bullet. Pacius recording the first goal of the season for Tampa Bay. It disrupts the drought.
Tampa Bay Rowdies goal scored by number 28.
We're back to dead even at 1 apiece. The 20-year-old, 23-year-old from Quebec, Canada. That's the team from Florida on the board. So Tampa Bay scoring their first goal of the season. Pacius does it. Quick chip, nice touches. Bassett trying to split two defenders, could not pull it off. That was crisp passing from Tampa Bay. Pacius in the middle of the act again.
Over the last 5 to 10 minutes, Tampa Bay started to get on the ball a little bit more and get more comfortable. Lewis Hilton pulling the strings from a deep blank position, and now you allow your front four to be a little bit more clever in the advantageous spots that they pick up.
And your point, Ricky, Tampa Bay is holding a sizable advantage in possession, 62% to 38. Lazy ball there from Bassett, picked off. Romero and company trying to push forward, but they have no legs in front.
Just notice how Miami FC has defended so much for the last 10 minutes. They have no options going forward, right? Whether it is the fitness or just the willingness to get all 11 players behind the ball. Bonfiglio has been on an island. Really difficult to find your number 9 when it's 1 versus 3.
We saw moments like this in week 2 against Indy for
a good ball.
Miami FC. McPherson quickly on the touch. Arteaga on the heel, just could not complete that act, and Cambisi will come out.
Again, only one player, one presence for Miami FC, Bonfiglio, versus that whole back 3 of Tampa Bay. But over the last 5 minutes, McPherson has been the key for Tampa Bay. Notice how he just peels off of Mercado, Varane, in front of Akinyote and Ricketts. No answer for him thus far, and he's been the reason why the Rowdies have been clicking.
Shots right now favoring Tampa Bay by a wide margin, 6-1. '35th minute. Osius had an open lane, just could not receive that. Bodily trying to elude a defender. Football fans, Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the academy to the big leagues, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Pasius with the equalizer in the 31st minute. Prior to that, Bonfiglio in the 2nd. Miami and Tampa Bay, same song and dance from yesteryears. It is 1-1. Coming into this contest, Ricky, it was all about what Tampa Bay has done to Miami. They've outscored them by a 2-1 margin, 34-17 leading into tonight. Rowdies lead the all-time series with 11 victories, 4 defeats, and 4 draws. Akinyote. Me just getting this thing away. Metrano, quick push. Blanco here. Blanco, head up all the way. Perfect spot inside the box. Some decent contact. That will not draw a whistle or a point to the spot. Pasius almost found himself a 2-on-1 break with Arteaga. Bola with a good step and a jab was able to pick that ball off.
It's not a game you want to play. If you are Miami, you do not want to allow this to open up into a transitional meet. Pasius, Arteaga, Bassett just have too much legs underneath them. Bonfiglio's first touch lets him down. Asking for a pen, nothing in that whatsoever.
Talk a lot about players getting into a groove with touches. Bonfiglio hasn't had anything since the first couple of minutes.
Well, it's been because Miami FC has been defending. Only 16 touches for Bonfiglio, but all 11 players have been on the ball, and when he does get on the ball, it's 1 versus 3. Really difficult to get your number 9 operating in those type of circumstances.
Different talent on the roster for Miami this year, but they really have not had the upper hand when it comes to possession, similar to last year. Bassett. Try to get it to McPherson. Miami FC looking at going to transition, but they can't complete that act. Arteaga. Pasias here. Moon asking for delivery. I just see living a little dangerously, Ricky. I know you don't like it too much.
Just tries to overcomplicate it for no reason, Ricardo. Never want to take that many touches deep in your defensive third. If you give the ball over, it's a nightmare. It's little decisions like that that continue to haunt this home side.
Miami starting 7 players tonight from Argentina. Match says 1-1, but it does feel like Tampa Bay should have an advantage, even if it's a narrow one. '40th minute. Outside of Blanco going down for a quick minute. Haven't had any lapses in gameplay. Blanco trying to direct some traffic, but to no avail.
There's no options going forward. No mobility and stifled out. You see left side of your screen, Blanco having words with Gaston Budoni. The frustration prevalent for their number 10.
Quick delivery. Bassett, who went down. On the return, though, comes Miami. Blanco here with no numbers. Tampa Bay doing a good job of transitioning. Blanco tees one up and it goes sailing over the crossbar. Good step from the 36-year-old. Just could not get it on target, though.
It's a good transitional moment for Miami FC, but I want you to look at the top of your screen. Lucas Milano needs to come closer. It's just so disconnected. You see Sebastian Blanco pick his head up, put his hand out saying, what am I supposed to do? There's no options whatsoever. That's why he elects to shoot. It goes up and over the crossbar. It's 1 versus 4. And you can see the two having words right now. Milano needs to come over and help out Sebastian Blanco to give that a better effect in a transitional moment.
And that's the type of action, Ricky, you have spotlighted throughout the first 3 weeks now. Is that trailer needs to step up into the play as opposed to almost slow playing it.
You have to want the ball. You have to take the game to your opposition if you want to play the way that Gaston Budoni wants to play. You and I have the luxury of speaking with him every week, and he said we want to be the team that takes it to our opposition. We want to play on the front foot. Well, little things like that need to be better for Miami FC to show that type of gameplay.
It starts with spending time in the attacking third. You can't do that unless you have possession, and they've had anything but that in the opening half. Possession 60-40 in favor of Tampa. Shots on target 3-1 in favor of the Rowdies. Oh, McPherson wanted to get that ball back, could not. Bassett outside though, looking for Arteaga. Oh, banged around. McPherson almost found a spot to put that in. But unfortunate for him, it was marked promptly.
Been really impressed with the movement of McPherson. Notice how he plays off the shoulder of Arteaga. Arteaga goes near post. That pulls out Bolu. So that allows McPherson to come centrally. But give credit to Vasquez. saying like for like with him and doing just enough to throw him off. That's a midfielder making about a 40-yard run deep in his defensive box.
Yeah, it's huge. We'll see if that has larger dividends as this match goes along. Bolu scrambles around to evade McPherson. Pacius. Castellanos. Tampa Bay in much better form after the early concession. We'll keep an eye on the fourth official to see if we get any stoppage time. McPherson. Pacius and Arteaga at the top of your screen. Moon surveying, can't find a lane. Hilton wants to get it back, he does. Hilton has an open crease, looking for a better lane. Bassett, left side. Arteaga pulls the trigger. Oh, and he just misses that far bar. Does not need much.
Top class here from the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Notice the off-the-ball movement, how decisive it is. And I love the patience from Arteaga. No one's going to close down the space. Let me hesitate a little bit so I can open up an avenue to shoot. Trying to have a lot of traffic in front of Bill Hamid. If this is on target, it's in the back of the net. Pulls it just wide. But good action from the visiting side.
You talk about work rate a lot, and his work rate, and actually it feels like for Tampa Bay, their work rate as a club has been really high tonight.
They do it together, and I think that is what's really important, because how many times have we seen Bonfilio make a run and it's a solo act? It's only 1 versus 3. And then your team is about 20, 25 yards away, so you don't have the ability to win that second ball. What Tampa Bay's been able to do thus far. Hold on a second. They've been able to recover the ball. Once they get to that final third, their back line steps up, that midfield line follows them, so they squeeze the game. So you talk about being compact, you talk about doing things together in unison. Tampa Bay has done that over the last 20, 30 minutes here.
It's almost the equivalent of a low tide with Bonfilio and a high tide with McPherson, Arteaga, and Pacius. Completely different shape. Here's Moon. Nice play by Moon, splitting 2 defenders. A third one, takes the shot on goal, it's deflected and it goes wide. Oh, ever so close for Moon. He was threatening, wasn't he?
Just so easy for Nick Moon to bypass not 1, but 3 Miami FC players. Give credit to Bolo Akinyoti. He comes across at the last second to deny Nick Moon Tampa Bay's second goal. And you love the reaction after. Players a bit frustrated that Nick Moon does not play it across, because you have 3 options for the Rowdies there. Goal-saving tackle from Bolu.
That would probably be a good candidate for goal of the year, though, if he pulls
100%.
that off. McPherson here at the end of the opening half, looking close. Arteaga fought off by Bolu.
Good touch.
Bassett looking for Castellanos in the back post. That ball didn't have any elevation, though, to it. McPherson. Hilton tries his luck, lands on the right foot, and he puts it home. Christos Tomo makes it 2-1 for Tampa Bay. A late goal, that's a killer for Miami FC.
Patient from the Tampa Bay Rowdies. If you do not succeed once, you try again and you recirculate this ball. Information on the pass from McPherson, and Lewis Hilton just puts it in a dangerous area. Fantastic body position from Christos Tomo, and the technical ability as well. Notice how he just wraps his right leg around it, swivel the hips, and it finds the back of the net. Great goal from the Rowdies.
Those are 2 goals scored by Tampa Bay with high quality. And for a team that was blanked in the first couple of matches of the season, they found their stride here tonight. trailing 1-0. Only a couple minutes into the contest. They've closed out the opening half strong and in style. Bill Hamid puts that ball in the stands. Kind of gives you an idea of his thought process and frustrations. 45 minutes in the books here from Pitbull Stadium. Fine recovery by Tampa Bay and Ricky for Miami, and now it's their turn to recover.
Yeah, if you are Miami FC, you have to be really frustrated because you do all the hard work to go up a goal, but then mental lapses, unable to win your individual duels, and you get punished. For Tampa Bay Rowdies, they grew into this game. So how do you continue that momentum for Robbie Nielsen?
Bonfilio, his first regular season goal in the second minute. Pasius and Christos Domo to close out the opening half. Tampa Bay now leads 2-1. Cron halftime report is right around the corner. We get stats, highlights, and also news and notes around the league. All that and then some when we come back. Don't go anywhere.
The Magic City, sparked by Julia Tuttle's vision and Henry Flagler's railroad expansion. What was once swampland, transformed into a booming city. This is 1896.
No one was born a hero. It's an everyday journey. There are no shortcuts, no days off, no perfect scenarios. Things won't always go the way you expect. But overcoming challenges is part of the game too. Your time is now. When passion runs through you, become your own hero.
Back here live at Pitbull Stadium with Ricky Lopez-Espin. I'm David Gascon, the Macron halftime report. Tampa Bay was down 1-0. They now lead at the end of 45. 2-1 is the score. While we have a moment, we have the goals and saves of the week in USL Championship and also in League One. Fellas, take it away.
Espinal's gone a little more forward. He's gotten the ball now. He's taken down. Play goes on. This is O'Dwyer. Levy stands tall and goes airborne. As Knoxville brings their numbers upward. Try from distance into the box. Kelly, he scores! Angelo Kelly in stoppage time ties this game at 2.
Usan searching ahead. Is there a plot twist for Rhode Island? Cuts it back! Just over the bar. A massive opportunity goes begging for Brito on his first.
But not insurmountable. They've given up a couple of goals late in the opening half. 2-1 is the score. Highlights and stats right around the corner. Don't go anywhere.
have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Success doesn't come easy. It takes grit, hustle, and relentless effort. Every step forward brings you closer to greatness. This is your moment. Elevate your game. El Jimador, Spiked Bebidas.
No one was born a hero. It's an everyday journey. There are no shortcuts, no days off, no perfect scenarios. Things won't always go the way you expect. But overcoming challenges is part of the game too. Your time is now. When passion runs through you, become your own hero.
Back here live from Pitbull Stadium, the Macron halftime report. Tampa Bay leading Miami FC by a score of 2-1. With Ricky Lopez-Espin, I'm David Gascon. Ricky, got time now for some news and some notes. A little bit of gossip. What do we got?
Promotion relegation. What a fantastic news that is for USL. Announced that a lot of the owners voted to implement it. That's going to do fantastic stuff for the growth of this game. And then you look about the Oakland Roots, 25,000 plus expected at the home opener in the Coliseum. And then the Open Cup, the only team in USL Championship to lose in round one, Birmingham Legion, they fell to Little Rock Rangers.
I'm all about relegation, man.
Fantastic.
I'm all about it. I mean, it's a different conversation. The page, hit a little dissolve right and left. We'll fade up, fade down. Upcoming schedule tonight on ESPN Plus and also Galazzo.
Phoenix Rising, they will host the team that went to the final, Rhode Island, Conno Smith. That's a nice little matchup. Sacramento and the Colorado Springs Switchbacks at 10 on Galazzo. And then the one that we talked about, obviously Oakland Roots, and then Orange County will be playing against Monterey Bay. A lot of games for the late slate here in USL.
That's what we got on tap in USL Championship in week number 3, and of course all that sandwiched between it is US Open Cup action as well. We'll have some highlights and we'll have some stats when we come back on the other side of things. Francisco Bonfiglio, his first goal of the regular season for Miami FC, giving him an early advantage, but Tampa Bay has clawed back and they have the lead through 45. 2-1 the visitors with the advantage. We will return.
The Magic City, sparked by Julia Tuttle's vision and Henry Flagler's railroad expansion. What was once swampland, transformed into a booming city. This is 1896.
Kia is loaded with over 500 new Kia models in stock now. Test drive a new 25 Kia Sportage today. Doral Kia. Drive for less. Drive Doral.
best ever play in the championship hangs up his boots. King Kenny, Canardo Ford, joins us on the show this week, Devin.
The Mount Rushmore of midfielders departs the championship, leading in regular season minutes, appearances, and 66 assists. That's first all time in USL Championship history. And hey, who knew you could spend 10 years on Northeast, 7 in Pittsburgh, and not touch a Philly cheesesteak or ground beef?
This portion of the broadcast is brought to you by Macron, become your own hero. Bon Bon Boom. Baptist Health. And Doral Kia. Drive for less, drive Doral. If you're looking close, you can see Ricky Lopez Espin's penthouse. Get it on target was the thing of beauty. First half numbers, this tells us it is all Tampa Bay. They're trailing 1-0, but they got off the deck. They've reached tonight's conclusion. Won in U.S. Open Cup, but it does feel like Miami FC is working with some fatigue since they played on Tuesday. No changes for either side. One guy I know we were interested in watching tonight was Kevin Hoyos, who scored last week against Indy 11. Not gonna lie, a bit surprised to not see him amongst the starting 11 here tonight.
I agree with you. Obviously, Gaston Rodoni needs a result here to start the season. 2 losses here at home, so you always want to have a response and a reaction. Kevin Hoyos gave them energy, he gave them quality, he gave them, at the time, that was their only goal in 2025.
He's been impressed by Hoyos and also Brandon Bent. Bent, the 18-year-old, has seen a decent amount of work through the first couple of weeks of the season, but he has not shown himself yet here tonight. Tampa Bay celebrating their 50th anniversary here in 2025. Have not done that at home just yet.
Sí, continualo. Continualo. Vení, Lu, vení. Vuelve.
Doral Kia is loaded with over 500 new Kia models in stock now. Test drive a new 25 Kia Sportage today. Doral Kia. Drive for less. Drive Doral.
Second half just got underway. All the goals scored in the opening half. Bonfilio first for Miami FC. Pacius, his first of the year to equalize. Crisostomo, a go-ahead goal.
Good coverage here from Castellanos. He goes down really easy, so you have to feel there is an argument for Lucas Milano.
One thing we didn't see a lot of, Ricky, in the first half was physicality for Miami and aggression. Miami FC in their Week 1 loss to Detroit, they had 5 yellows. They also had a red. So yes, they've toned down the rhetoric, but I think they've also toned down the physical play that might be hindering them a little bit here tonight.
Been really comfortable for the Rowdies. And how many times have we seen a player like McPherson just pick up the ball and have the ability to turn, face forward, and not really feel any sort of pressure. Good ball.
Pacius on the run. McPherson down the middle of the pipe. Looking for Arteaga. Hamid comes out. He'll gobble it up. Trying to jumpstart this offense. Seems like we saw a lot of instances, Rick, in the first half where things would be pushing forward for Miami, and then they play it back and then try to work forward again. decent ball here. Vetrano with some real estate, nice dummy. Veron had a clear path towards target, and he'd love to have that thing back.
One of the best action that we've seen from Miami FC. It starts with Sebastian Blanco a little bit deeper, just trying to go and search the game. Good pick out from Vetrano, but as this ball's coming across, the top priority for Veron is you have to keep your shoulders over this ball. You do not need to generate power because you have momentum in your favor. Clean contact, keep it underneath the crossbar. And you can really ask some questions of the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Big opportunity missed.
The 24-year-old with a great look at target. A fine job by Milano, let that thing go by him. Unselfish moment for Miami FC, and our first yellow card of the night is immediate.
You have to think it's a little bit of frustration from Veron. Misses that chance moments ago. Now a little bit of retaliation to catch McPherson.
Yellow card issued in the 51st minute.
As we take a second look at it here, yeah, it's a follow through. Catches him, knows exactly what he's doing. Watch his right leg over the top of McPherson.
It's our first booking of the night for either side. Veron trying to deliver a decent argument. Our lead official, Alex Belletta, not allowing it to happen. Milano. Quick convergence, pass it with a fine play, also playing it off of him. It's 11v11, but Ricky, there's certain spots that Tampa Bay has definitely outmanned Miami FC and put them in vulnerable positions to turn the ball over.
Clear triggers for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Once the ball goes wide, they just try to squeeze the field and keep them on one side of the field. A really good ball in.
Right back to McPherson. McPherson had to wait for that ball. Ricketts with a good job to recover in time. McPherson still doesn't look right.
But it's just far too easily for the Rowdies to break through Miami FC. One pass from Blake Bodley takes out about 5 Miami players. And that's when you have a nice little interchange between Arteaga and McPherson. A dangerous set piece here.
Bassett, another one of those players that has had an impact here tonight. Good line drive ball. Hamid elevates for it, snatches it from harm's way. Hamid beat twice, low to the left-hand side. Crisostomo with the go-ahead goal. Pasius with all leverage got him first. Veron, quick touch. Ball goes right back to Tampa Bay.
Notice Sebastian Blanco is dropping deeper because he wants to get on the ball. He wants to make things happen. That's a sign of frustration. All right, as a number 10, you want to stay as high as you can underneath Bonfiglio, but not seeing much of the ball. That's why he goes out and searches it.
Bassett, pretty good ball. Arteaga was there, so was Bolu. Bodley tried to jump into it, and possession now earned by Tampa Bay. Bolu Akinyoti's had his hands full tonight with Arteaga, but he has been up to the task. Bodley out wide. Bodley with the cross. Hits the trailer. McPherson for the second time tonight. Misses a point-blank bid.
Again, just so easy for the Rowdies to get in behind Miami. as this ball goes to the byline. No trailing run whatsoever. And much like we said about Varane, you just need to hit it and keep your shoulder square from McPherson. He tries to do too much. You do not need to generate power, just simply pick out a corner. It's a third goal for the Rowdies. What an opportunity that is. That goes wasted.
When you see moments like that with McPherson missing 2 shots with a good head of steam and Varane the same, is that more the player or does the turf have an impact as well because of the playing surface?
I think you have to attribute that to heavy legs, right?
Okay.
Obviously, week 3 in the season, because these players have played on this turf for about 55 minutes or close to an hour, plus warm-ups, whatever it may be. So they know how the ball's going to bounce. But it's technical ability as well, right? Every time you lean back, the ball's going to go up and over the crossbar, and that's soccer 101. Every single player on this pitch knows that. So when this ball's coming over, sometimes your eyes get too big and you want to do too much. You try to generate too much power, and in doing that, you lean back.
Vasquez in agony. Vasquez was busy in the first half. He mixed things up with Pasius. We'll take a peek at it again.
That left arm from Pasius that catches Vasquez. The wrist contact, that's for certain right here, left arm. I don't think there's any ill will from the Rowdies player, just trying to feel his surroundings.
Blanco getting a yellow here in the 57th minute, coming to the defense of his teammate. But for good reason. Pasius, you can't miss his hand because he's got bandage on that left thumb. But Ricky, to your point, filling out a defender, arm was above the shoulder, not below it.
Oh, we've definitely seen less pick up a yellow card. So I do think, even though it wasn't intentional, Pasius should see yellow. Whenever you have the arm extended away from your body, especially near the face area, you run the risk. I think he gets away with one.
Alan Gavilanes coming into the contest for Varane. Varane had a chance at the equalizer just a few moments ago. Vasquez is okay.
I think he did the concussion testing.
Little quick concussion protocol.
He did not seem bothered.
Yeah. Look at my finger. No, I'm good. Match continues. It's the first change of the night for Miami. 7 in, 11 out. There's probably some pun there, but I can't pull it off. Ricky, in terms of keys to the game tonight, Tampa Bay has gotten what they've wanted, but for Miami, what do they need to do differently here in the second half?
Well, we talked about the key, well, central locations. That's exactly what Gaston Rodoni mentioned on our phone call, because they had a numerical advantage, just tactically. Tampa Bay likes to, that's a move. Tampa Bay likes to play with 4 across that middle, so only 2 midfielders, which is Crisostomo and McPherson, versus Miami with 3. You have Blanco, you have Mercado, now you have Gavilanes. So, in theory, there should always be 2 options when you get on the ball. But it hasn't been the case, and I do think it's because of the shape. Miami started to expand themselves, and they're just so disconnected, unable to connect passes or get any sort of rhythm. And just look at your screen right now. The Tampa Bay Rowdies, everything they do is in unison. Right? You don't see more than 10 yards between lines from back to front. Manuel Arteaga is your number 9. He's about, what, 45 yards away from goal. Versus Miami, once they get into their defensive structure, notice how many gaps are in between both lines.
Yeah, to your point, you can see the green really working in one motion where Miami trying to create some space. A challenging time And a bad ball there going right back to the Rowdies. A bit of a giveaway here. That shot never really had a chance to materialize on going towards goal. Milano just spun and fired.
Trying to overcomplicate things when playing out of the back for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Lucas Milano always off balance.
And BC talking to his back line. Bassett, one-on-one action. Bolu there to disrupt it. Bolu's had an excellent night with individual markings. Miami FC looking for a victory against Tampa Bay. At this point, they'll take a draw. They have gone winless in their last 6 against Tampa. In fact, all 6 matches have been victories for Tampa Bay. Some pretty harsh contact, no whistle, no call, but stays with Tampa. Last time Miami beat Tampa Bay, April 9th of 2022. Thomas Van Kazeel coming into the contest. First change of the night for Tampa Bay. Tobias Zarate is going to come in as well. Tobias scored on Tuesday night in that Open Cup victory for Miami FC. Blanco's night is over with.
He replaces number 20, Nicholas Boone. Substitution taking place in the 61st minute.
Blanco not enough on the ball this evening.
Substitution for Miami FC checking into the game, number 18.
Younger and fresh legs have an impact for the home side.
He replaces number 10, Sebastian Blanco. Substitution taking place in the 61st minute.
Bassett looking for some open space. Crisostomo's almost on the receiving end. Here comes Miami FC. Bodley, who was down, got himself back up. 63rd minute. When we reach full time, we'll have our Cricket Wireless man of the match. For all of that, Romero is now down in agony. Bassett, it's a stern lection as well.
Don't see a lot in that, to be fair. I think Bassett gets a lot of the ball. Yes, he catches Romero a little bit, but you feel for the Rowdies player, a bit confused. Look at the space in between lines that I've been talking about, David. It's just all over the place for Miami FC. It's so easy to break through. Look at the center of the field. There's no presence for Miami FC.
It's a sweet play by Crisostomo. Bodley on the left-hand side, wide open. Give and go action, no. Good play defensively to disrupt that flow. That would have been trouble for Miami. On the return, Gavilanes. Gavilanes feeling the heat from the backside. Bodley ran over him. Is there a lead official pulling out a yellow card? That's exactly the case, and Bodley a bit miffed on this call.
Flawless from Ricketts. Notice when this ball goes wide, that's when he closes down the angle. Really good timing, and as this ball comes back across left side of your screen, Bodily makes about a 70-yard run. Again, I'm a bit confused. I don't see anything in that. Catches Gavianis, he picks up a yellow card.
The yellow card issued in the 64th minute.
Perhaps a makeup call for the one that was not called. A bit surprising on that, but regardless, it comes back. Vasquez, who grabs something from Pasius in the left eye. But a yellow card nonetheless for Tampa Bay. See what kind of delivery is here for the home side. Zarate puts this one on target. A bit confused, and maybe the intent there, Ricky, was to get that to Milano.
Yeah, I think he's caught between two minds, Zarate, because you have two options there. Put it into the mixer and let your team run onto it, and if you do that, you have to take a little bit off of it to allow them to arrive. But if you do shoot, you need a lot more power to test a goalkeeper.
Hilton, quick touch. Ball between his legs. Volleyed back and forth. Pasius, Artiaga, and McPherson up front. Bassett out wide to the left. Now he comes back to the middle in the top of the box. Toronto with the intercept. Let's see if Miami can push this on a counter. Near set official with the flag down, Gavilanes. Gavilanes looks for a little bit of real estate, and our lead official points to the spot. Might be questionable, but Ricky, I will say this as an argument. That is a prime scoring opportunity for Gavilanes.
And he sets him up extremely well, Gavianis. This long touch, and he thinks he's gonna shoot it. It's a secondary touch that catches Blake Bodily diving in. Watch his right foot. Comes across right there, it is a foul. Right in front of our center referee, Alex Bittlitter. It's a really good call. And if you're Blake Bodily, there's no need to try to lunge in. You need to move your feet and make Alvin Gavianis play negative. But as you become a little bit overzealous, you get caught with your timing. You try to make a play on the ball, and you get all of the player.
Well, last year, it was either Frankie Lopez or Gavilanes that would take this penalty. Campisi being ordered to get back into his net. Milano will take it for Miami FC. It's their first penalty of the year. They did concede one last week to Indy 11.
It does look like Lucas Milano hands it off. So I think it's Mercado who's there.
Well, here we go. Bonfilio to equalize, and he shakes the shot. Unbelievable in the 68th minute. The one guy you'd love to have in this prime spot doesn't even hit target.
Just tries to do too much with it. Gets a little bit cute with it. Bonfilio tries to bend it into that top corner, and he gets it all wrong. As he steps across, he hits underneath the ball. That's why he goes up and over the crossbar, but what an opportunity this is for Miami FC to draw even.
Campisi excited about it, and for good reason. Aaron Guillen will come into the contest for Pasius.
It's this touch right here from Gavianis that catches Bodily diving in. But notice the way it's a follow through. Really awkward from Bonfilio. Trying to bend it too much and gets too cute with it.
And to not hit target. Guillen coming into the affair. Guillen started the first couple matches of the season, but tonight comes in off the sideline. Man from Chihuahua, Mexico. Playing in his 6th season with Tampa Bay.
I have to think now that Tampa's going to shift into a 4-back system, 4-2-3-1. So Guillen will play left back. Your 2 center backs are Lawrence White and Castellanos. Then your 2 center midfielders will be Chris Atomo, Lewis Hilton, with Blake Bodley and Bassett on either side, McPherson underneath Arteaga.
Bonfilio in the 68th minute, airmail the penalty. Will there be redemption? Crossing attempt by Milano, not this time. Cheeky play on the goal line. Gavilanes and company were threatening again. Arteaga on his wallet. Castellanos chirping a bit.
Shouts for a handball. It's a right arm from Castellanos. Not much in that. I think his hand is in a natural position. In my opinion, would have been really harsh to point to 12 yards out.
I'd be remiss not to ask, Ricky, when you go into a penalty situation with a striker like Gavilanes, why wouldn't he take that penalty when he was the one that set it up? And he's a goal scorer, too.
That's something that's figured out in training. That's something that, if you're Gaston Modoni, you work on pens after training. You have a designated pen taker that before the game, no matter who draws it, no matter what's happening, if this player is on the field, in this case it seems like Bonfilio, he's taking the pen. And the responsibility lays on, number one, if the player wants to, if the player has shown that he's capable and has the quality to find the back of the net. In this case, it obviously doesn't come out to fruition for Miami FC.
Some more physicality here, working in the favor of Tampa. And now we have another yellow card. Mercado a bit disgusted with what's going on. In the 73rd minute, he picks up yellow. On the bodily infraction in the penalty, Bassett was the one that picked up yellow. It's in the 68th minute. Guillen here. Bodily. Trying to go the long way. Arteaga is moving pretty fluid inside the 18. Had it on his lap. Somehow got it back. Pulls the trigger. Can't get it on goals. Blocked in the way through. Bolo has been harassing him all night long.
Bolo's been fantastic, but as his ball comes across, this needs to be McPherson that has to go at it. A bit selfish from Arteaga, wants to stay with the play, but a better body angle McPherson has into it.
McPherson again in the corner. Everything getting away from Miami in terms of numbers. They're outshot 12-5 right now. McPherson, pretty good location. The elevation there from Arteaga was fine, but the delivery not on point. Now, Ricky, I know you've told me this time and time again on those set pieces, like a corner, you head it back where it came from. But Arteaga a little too far out. But I do remember.
Well, think about it, all right? As a goalkeeper, right, you have to follow the flight of the ball. So let's say the ball's coming from your left to right and your movement is from left to right. And if a player has the ability to head it back across, that's asking a lot of the athleticism to go back to your left-hand side to figure out where the ball's coming, to get your feet underneath you. It's a nightmare to deal with if you're a goalkeeper.
Arteaga scoreless so far this season, had 18 of them a year ago.
Nice to hear that you actually listen.
Hey,
to
I'm
me.
always
There you
listening,
go.
man. Just taking your guidance, your wisdom, your experience.
I should be saying that to you.
You are the color and analyst for a reason, man. '76th minute. We'll see what Gavilanes serves up here. Pushing and shoving.
A yellow card has been issued to Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Sastomo picking up yellow.
Yellow card
Gavilanes.
is 76th minute.
Pretty good delivery with that ball, but not enough coverage on that left-hand side. Ball, some decent English.
Good move. Well done from Bolu.
He was trying to receive that ball from Gavilanes on the free kick. And now he retreats. Zarate. Sailing up into the air, Campisi will come out to collect. While we have a moment, soccer season being officially here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and much, much more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats.
Get back in your box. Get back in your box. Get back in your box.
Tampa Bay on a run here. Bodley with some open space. A clear path towards target. He gets taken down. Hamid with an easy stop. No whistle, no call, and a bunch of disgust for Tampa. Great feed for Bodley with a full head of steam. And he could not complete the act.
A fantastic ball in from Lewis Hilton, and watch the left arm of Romero. There definitely is contact on the backside, but is there enough? Get a good look at it here. Is it extended? Yes. Is there a lot of contact? That's where I have a little bit of the issue, and Bodley goes down a bit too easy. But again, David, we've seen a pen giving for a lot less.
Kevin Hoyos coming into the contest. He scored last week against Indy 11. He was a bright spot in a relatively dark match in week 2. He was good. Excellent power, good pace to his shot, but it was apparent that he had a lot of jump in his step against Indy. And the question is there any carryover to tonight?
Don't leave it again. Do not.
It looked like Robbie Nielsen was leaving his box, Ricky.
So you have to think it's Gaston Badoni.
Well,
process of elimination, right?
Yeah, have to be, right?
Look at us.
Deductive reasoning from the two lads in the press box. Get back in your box. It gives me flashbacks of the great movie 7 with Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman.
Okay.
What's in the box?
Yeah.
What's in the box? Wild ending. Do we have one here? '80th minute. All 3 goals scored in the opening half. Bolo got a piece of it. Bodley on the left-hand side. Arteaga jumped out, an open crease, and Arteaga, I think, disrupted that from McPherson. Otherwise, McPherson went an open lane.
Okay, just a little bit of communication from McPherson. Ball comes back across. Arteaga's trying to get onto it, and you're right, David. McPherson's there, and Bull is just quicker to poke it out and catches Arteaga's follow-through.
I'm going to have our executive producer, Brent, earmark that. David, you were right. For the first time, I've heard that from you in years.
You're always right.
Man. It's a special moments, Ricky.
Stop.
Evidence, as we call it. On the cross, Gavilanes could not pull off a bicycle kick there. 81st minute. Miami's running out of time.
Just too long to make a decision. For the Rowdies, you have Miami out of shape. Take advantage of it.
Miami definitely trying to counter, but some hesitation. It's allowed Tampa Bay to recover defensively in transition. Bolo here. Miami's next match is against New Mexico, March the 29th. Tampa Bay will have a week off, and they get back to it on the road against Charleston on April the 5th. Arteaga receives it. The shot won't count, but a good stop from Hamid anyway.
Just starts his run a little bit too early, Manuel Arteaga. Really clever from Ricketts to step up and catch the striker offside. Heads up play by the center back.
And as a keeper, you always want that on a highlight tape. Gavilanes on open crease. Pretty good ball on the left-hand side. No shot able to be pulled off from Hoyos. Similar to what he did against Indy. He's trying to settle it down, spin and fire. Bassett. 3 matches so far that he has appeared and started in. Ball had way too much pace to it. Campisi down now and grabbing the hammy. While we have a moment, can't watch the match? Well, turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights, plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more. All on Sirius XM 157 and the new Sirius XM app. You've had some moments for both teams here tonight, Ricky. Miami had theirs first with Bonfilio scoring. Tampa Bay scored twice, but here in the second half, Bonfilio had another moment because of this.
Yeah, Bodley gets caught lunging in. You thought Bonfilio was going to get his brace, but just a really weird run-up and follow-through. The way that he contorts his body at the end of it, play goes up and over and bends away. Player of his quality should be hitting the target with 12 yards out.
Campisi, after a recess, is back to his feet. Not sure what the tears are for. I don't think there's any Kleenex available for him. Campisi came into this match with an 0-2 record. The goals against at 1. The save percentage is alarming for him at 33. But tonight he has some goal support. I'd love for his teammates to pick up an insurance marker here. Guillen, Bassett left all alone on the right-hand side. Guillen finally sees him, but he can't feed him. Ball goes right back to Miami. Miami's made a handful of changes here in the second half. Bent is one of those. Hoyos, Celeste, Gavilanes.
Great touch.
Arteaga trying to weave his way through some traffic, but he was quickly double teamed. Definitely still some things for Miami to clean up, but they have played better in the second half. Shots are even at 3-3 in the second half. Possession nearly even, 54% to 45. Tampa had a sizable advantage in the first half, 62% to 38. End of this match, Ricky and myself will have the Cricket Wireless Man of the Match with some stats and some highlights. Maybe a harsh foul here. Celeste, he's not quite. He gets yellow, and it's exactly what he sees now. Verbal abuse to official. Will get yellow every single time.
The frustration is evident from Miami FC players. Foul or not, there's just no need to go that aggressively at our center referee. You see Bolo after the fact pleading. That's to be frustrating to continue to have those mental lapses and pick up yellow card after yellow card.
Do have another change here for Tampa Bay. Nate Worth will come in, the 18-year-old who replaced McPherson. McPherson with a spear tonight at the office. He checked out, but he never was disengaged from this contest. He was stellar. Guillen. Can't keep it. Now it goes back to Miami. Tampa going to press a little bit here just to gobble up some more time and force Miami to matriculate down the pitch. Bodley on the intercept. It's exactly the case in Tampa. Forcing the mistake. No payoff there, though. While we have a moment, eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Are you a big gamer, Ricky?
I'm not.
No?
Are you?
I used to be.
Used to be? What did we used to play?
PlayStation for sure. I mean, it began with Atari. And then Nintendo, and then PlayStation.
No,
but it's always like you're either a PlayStation or an Xbox guy.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's a lot of dudes today that are both. It's probably a problem.
What
FIFA. FIFA, MLB The Show, all the NHL versions.
Sports, like sports.
All sports, yeah.
Not like Call of Duty, anything like that.
Like Call of Duty. Good role-playing game was Resident Evil. A few movies were made after that. That was a good horror movie, but Resident Evil's fantastic. Old school video game for Sega, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. Really good game.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, old school. Yeah. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Shout out to George Foreman, who deceased, who passed away yesterday. I mean, George, a heavyweight champion, even into his later stages of his career. Some good games back in the day.
That was always a... What's happening here? There's a lot of commotion on the field, especially from the Miami FC bench. Oh, he lost his shin guard. I was a FIFA guy when I played.
Yes, have to be.
And then also Fortnite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You didn't do a whole lot of gaming, though, when you were at Creighton.
No.
You were all about the action.
All about
the action.
Gym, school,
yeah.
Soccer. My main focus.
Now, it wasn't, since living in Florida, it wasn't GTL, was it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Just got to make sure. Would have had a chat with your pops for a quick second. Played into the box again. 6 minutes of stoppage time here off the fly. Campisi will snatch that. It's a handful of guys that have played well tonight for Miami. Bolu defensively has been sharp. Bonfilio, who scored the first goal for Miami.
He showed some glimpses of why they're so high on him. You and I had the ability to speak with members of the front office, and they said they signed Bonfilio with hopes that he'd be in the MVP running, which is quite the statement. But he showed some quality from the number 9 that they're so have a lot of potential with. And obviously, I think Mercado has shown what he's all about. Tenacious number 6, likes to stay centrally and disrupt plays. Ricketts and Bolu, I think, have been probably the most constant players for this Miami FC side.
Gavilanes on the drop. That ball goes across the end line. Do you feel like if you're going to get in that MVP conversation, you have to have a complementary piece that can take away eyes of the defense? It's almost in the sense if you have like a Milan Olaski, right, for the Orange County a few years ago, guys like that are able to get theirs, but also there's a complementary piece that can also get you 10 to 12 to 15 goals too.
I agree. I mean, you look at Arteaga and Cal Jennings, right? The 1-2 punch last season.
34 goals.
Those two players playing off of one another in a very high fashion. So I do think if you can get, that's a ball.
Yeah, Bodley, right-hand side, broken up by Bent.
Flawless positioning from Bent.
Christos Tomo.
I think if you can get Lucas Milano a little bit more fit, a little bit more involved, especially in the final third, that's when Bonfilio, watch out.
Wow, a headbutt here. That's going to draw yellow. And that's going to go against Arteaga for the flop. Oh, and a red card the other way for Mercado. And this is not a great flashback of Zinedine Zidane in his last game of his professional career in international duty.
Just frustration from Mercado. He thinks he gets fouled. He does get fouled. Can't do that. Right in front of the bench of the Tampa Bay Rowdies, right through the chest of Manuel Arteaga. Pure frustration from their center defensive midfielder, and it goes from bad to worse for Miami FC.
Even worse when that happens is it does so late in a contest during stoppage time with Miami down a goal, and it happens in stoppage time of the second half. So for Mercado, not only is he done for tonight, but also for next week's contest against New Mexico. So Arteaga picks up yellow. Bill Hamid trying to play, and he's asking for the green light from our lead official. Cannot happen. On the drop, Campisi will come out to neutralize this. Celeste. So Mercado, who picked up yellow in the 73rd minute, sees red with that headbutt. It's a time and place for everything, but never at that moment. Miami trying to accelerate this, but running out of time, and now do we have a bench yellow? Who received it?
And there's a red.
Alex Billetter passing out reds. Like it's going out of style. Strange. But for Ricky, for an official to hear that and then deliver red when they are 40 or 50 yards away from it.
It had to be communicated. Right, it had to be from the sideline or the fourth who continue to say, stay in your box. Something must have been said that was communicated to Alex Billetter. Very rarely do we see a straight red or a second yellow to a bench.
Celeste here. Some decent contact inside the 18. Miami trying to hold it. They cannot. Tampa does clear it. Hamid well out. Let's see if Miami gets another crack at this before we reach full time. Doesn't feel like that is the case. Tampa Bay trying to put the finishing touches on this night. Bodily in no mood to try to search for a third goal. Miami might have one more chance, but they can't hold possession here. Ball's broken up. Bassett. Sweet move through, left-hand side, Bodily. Sharp angle, puts a shot on goal. Hamid with a good stop. Fans wanting contact. And while we've reached full time, Hoyos on the ground in dismay. But on a night like this, where Miami jump-started their offense with an early goal from Bonfilio, just not enough in the tank. And for Miami FC, they have now lost 7 straight matches to Tampa Bay. Rowdies come back from down 1-0 and prevail for their first W of the season. 2-1's the outcome.
The Rowdies were the better side through footballing. From the way that they conceded to climb themselves back into this game, they are ruthless, they are professional. And for Miami FC, a lot to figure out, and it starts with keeping your head. You cannot receive 2 red cards in your first 3 games. Just not good enough from the side from South Florida.
Tough night for Miami FC. Can't get things on their side of the ledger. Time for our Cricket Wireless man of the match. Francisco Bonfilio is that man. Scored the game's opening goal in the 2nd minute. His first goal of the regular season. So congratulations to him. Bonfilio and company, though, fall for the 3rd time now in 3 matches of regular season action. 2-1 is the final. Post-game show coming up next.
Kia is loaded with over 500 new Kia models in stock now. Test drive a new 25 Kia Sportage today. Doral Kia. Drive for less. Drive Doral.
Closing up shop here. Tampa Bay prevailing on the road against Miami FC for their first win of the year. 2-1 is the final score. With Ricky Lopez-Espin, I am David Gascon, putting a bow on this thing. Ricky.
That's why it goes up and over the crossbar. And yet again, Tampa Bay Rowdies pick up points in South Florida.
7th time they have beat Miami, dating all the way back to 2022.
They were better. You look at that possession, 54% for Tampa Bay Rowdies. The shots on target. On the road, the Tampa Bay Rowdies side, really professional. So if you are Robbie Nielsen, you have to be really pleased to get your first win in 2025.
Yeah, Tampa Bay Rowdies pick up 3 points. They go to 1-2 on the season. Their first road victory of the season as well. Their next date is with Charleston. That'll be on April the 5th. Miami FC falls to 0-3 on the year. Next contest is next week against New Mexico. For Ricky